Hello, my name is Christian and welcome to episode 8 of the Ohio WIC Formula YouTube series. Today we're going to talk about standard low lactose infant formulas. Many specialty products are also low lactose or lactose free, but we will be discussing those in more detail later. Standard low lactose products are milk-based, so they would generally have the same carbohydrate, protein, and fat sources as standard milk-based products like we discussed in episode 6. The major distinction is that they have reduced lactose. These products may also have other tweaks in formulation to differentiate them from their standard milk-based counterparts, such as different probiotics, but the lactose level is a main distinction. The 3 name brand low lactose formulas are Gerber Good Start Soothe, Enfamil NeuroPro Gentle Ease, and Similac Sensitive. Ohio WIC's contract low lactose formula is currently Gerber Good Start Soothe. It's manufactured only in powder form because the probiotic in the product would not be stable in other forms. Gerber Good Start Soothe's carbohydrate is 30% lactose and 70% maltodextrin. Since Gerber Soothe is not available in a ready-to-feed form, Ohio WIC is also able to offer ready-to-feed Enfamil NeuroPro Gentle Ease. NeuroPro Gentle Ease has about 16% of its carbohydrate sourced from lactose, which is less lactose than Soothe. For the last few years, Ohio WIC has not been able to offer Similac Sensitive because it was a 19 calorie per ounce product. USDA, which is WIC's governing body, has a definition for standard formulas that says they must be 20 calories per ounce unless they are the state's contract product. So in Ohio, we are not allowed to authorize any 19 calorie product, including Similac Sensitive. Similac Sensitive has 2% of its carbohydrate as lactose, so it's the lowest lactose content level of the 3 major brand products. In general, low lactose formulas are indicated for infants for whom lactose sensitivity or intolerance or lactase deficiency is a concern, and a milk-based formula is preferred. We talked briefly about lactase in episode 6 if you would like to refer back to that information. Since human milk does contain lactose, human babies innately must have the ability to digest it. However, there are some instances where infants may experience signs of lactose intolerance. Lactose intolerance is basically a condition that presents itself with varying symptoms such as abdominal pain, bloating, gas, or diarrhea after consuming food items that contain lactose. Lactose intolerance can occur for a few reasons. One reason is lactase deficiency, which is when the small intestine does not produce enough lactase for the body to break down lactose. There are 4 types of lactase deficiency. Congenital lactase deficiency, which is very rare and occurs when from birth an infant makes little or no lactase. There's developmental lactase deficiency, which occurs when a premature infant does not produce enough lactase for a short time after birth. Primary lactase deficiency, which is the most common type of lactase deficiency and occurs as lactase production declines over time. This can begin occurring in children around age 2 or 3, but may begin later, and symptoms may not be seen until adolescence or adulthood. And secondary lactase deficiency, which is caused by injury or illness to the small intestine. If an infant has any disease, infection, or GI illness such as acute diarrheal disease, secondary lactase deficiency can become an issue. Often, the lactase deficiency in this case is resolved when the underlying issue is treated. One other reason for lactose intolerance is lactose malabsorption, which can be caused by lactase deficiency and is when more lactose is consumed than the body's capacity to produce lactase, and intact lactose passes into the large intestine. So after hearing all this, you might be asking yourself, if lactase deficiencies are often temporary in infancy, then why are so many people using low lactose infant formulas? Well, part of that is probably due to very successful marketing strategies by formula companies. Additionally, many caregivers don't like to change formulas once they find one that works, so the low lactose product may not be needed anymore, but the infant's still doing well on the product, so caregivers don't see a need to switch. There aren't necessarily any health consequences that we are currently aware of for staying on a low lactose product once any symptoms are resolved, But Ohio WIC policy does recommend reintroducing full lactose formulas as applicable, because we always want infants to be on the most appropriate formula for their needs and medical situation. Because Gerber Good Start Soothe is a contract product, a prescription is not needed. Policy does say that health professionals need to document the reason for issuing low lactose products in the participant's chart, which at a minimum would include the infant's symptoms when consuming full lactose products. If you would like to read more about standard low lactose products in policy, you can find the information in section 311.3, Part C. If a physician requests a ready-to-feed form of low lactose formula for a participant, there does need to be a prescription form completed and the reason for issuing a ready-to-feed product noted. Check out episode 5 and policy 311.2 Part C for more information about issuing ready-to-feed formulas. One additional medical situation I'd like to mention that tends to lend itself toward low lactose formulas in Ohio is neonatal abstinence syndrome, or NAS. Babies with NAS often need small, frequent feeds of high-calorie formula since adequate growth and development can be a concern. Low lactose formulas may also be appropriate to address some of the infant's gastrointestinal symptoms and tolerance issues. NAS is an appropriate diagnosis for low lactose formulas to be provided for infants on Ohio WIC, including ready-to-feed options, if there is an appropriately completed prescription form available with that diagnosis. Feel free to refer back to the neonatal abstinence syndrome YouTube video if you'd like to learn more about that topic. Thanks for tuning in today. Until next time, stay healthy, Ohio.